I see you driving around town with a girl I love, and I'm like, it's game week 15. Good evening, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I know some people have had better Saturdays than others. Cheers for dropping by. We are at game week 15. I'm expecting any minute the imminent arrival of the People's Champion, Mr. Rob Sloth, but he's not quite with us at the minute because his missus hasn't went to bed yet. And if there's only one thing a little bit more unhinged than Rob Sloth, it is obviously Mrs. Rob Sloth. So I shall keep an eye on him. But boys, you have the link in the Twitter group chat. It would be good to have some company. There's only one thing sadder than streaming Champ on a Saturday night, and that is doing it solo. So this is where we at. On game week 15, we have Haggis, who are absolutely flying at the top of the table, closely followed by Northern Burn on the same amount of points but split by goal difference. Coast, who've had a little bit of a wobble over the last couple of weeks, still find themselves in third thanks to their good start. The Vikings looked very, very good against Bostock the other night with their signings and strengthenings going on. PPP, the surprise package probably this season, looks solid. 2-2 against Dragons the other night, where the Storm came away with a point, could have even had 3. They were 2-1 up at one point. Badgers missed the opportunity against Casuals the other night, but they find themselves in 6. And then the rest are very, very closely followed. And you probably say, other than Asta and Rose, that everybody still has a chance of chasing that golden ticket to the playoffs. So we're going to start tonight with the draw derby, also known as the early risers derby. And that is Bostock v Celtics. And here he is. Here he is. All right, son. How you doing?
Hi. How's it going?
Yeah. I understand you're on some quite potent stuff tonight, Rob. Do you want to tell everybody what you're drinking there?
I'm drinking some very middle class gin and tonic.
What percentage is it?
43.
43. 43.
Big boy drink.
So I reckon, Rob, if we get a 4-3 scoreline tonight, you've just got it down the hatch. 43%, 4-3. Straight down the hatch.
Lovely.
Not that I think they'll take much encouragement anyway. You've joined us just in time for the first game, the draw derby, the early risers derby. Swanee, Bostock Stanley's boss this season. What have you made of him so far? What do you make of this lineup?
I'm a big Prutton fan. It's nice to see It's nice to see someone playing a different formation as well, isn't it? Someone not stealing my formation. It's nice.
Lawson in MC, spotted that when I was setting up. Any thoughts on that? He's an FC in the game. You also gave him the captain's armband.
What about Patasoglu though? Isn't he a DMRC? Sure, you'd have him in there, wouldn't you? Or you'd have him in the DMC.
I think Hodgie had joy with him all across that midfield, didn't he? Played him DMR, played him MC, played him DM. So but we'll see what happens there. Next up is one of your many best friends in the league,
Peter.
Mr. Greaves. Mr. Greaves, how are you feeling about Greavesy this season? Is he an irrelevance, or do you still have the same level?
He's completely irrelevant, and the fact that he goes on about. He likes basketball, by the way.
Yeah. That's what I think. The Celtics is the Boston Celtics thing, isn't it? It's their colours, isn't it?
Okay. I understand the reference, but it's shit, isn't it?
It's a bit shit, isn't it?
Basketball's ridiculous.
Nothing happens for an hour, and then the last 10 seconds are like absolute chaos.
Which is pretty much a great dichotomy for my sex life. So
nothing happens for an hour. You go on that long, are you, mate? Greavesy's been...
Get him in the car. Time up.
Greavesy's been lambasted for his early deals, and then actually looks as though he's turned it around a little bit with his deals. Although Lauren Robert, I think, making a Super League debut in 13 seasons. Any thoughts on? I think so. I don't think he's ever been in the league. I'm sure one of the long-standing custodians of the league will kind of keep us right. But anything kind of standing out about this 11?
He's not really a Greavesy player, is he, Robert? Because Robert's flashy and beautiful and charismatic and doesn't have sex with his sister, which is all the things that Greavesy is not.
You know what? Maybe that's the biggest thing we can say about the state of Greavesy this season, that he's having to go against some long held values.
I mean, I didn't say it was a bad thing. I live in Somerset, mate. For fuck's sake. Courage down here.
I've been told to specifically give Maharajo.
Don't do that. That's disgusting. That's awful.
I've been specifically instructed to do that. So first one of the night, if we get a 4-3, the alarm's going to go off and Rob Sloth's going to deck that 43%. Gin, what do you reckon score here wise, Rob?
4-3 Stanley.
4-3 Stanley. 4-3. And if we get a 4-3, you've obviously got to do a Kevin Phillips header as well. Quite a bit of red and white text there. Looks a little bit 50-50. Celtics coming back into it now. Laurent Robert's name being mentioned, and it looks as though Robert does set up Fabiostino, whatever his name is, Rossini, Tamati with a yellow card there, as Bostock will look to try and get back into this game. Much more of a conventional formation from Swanee tonight, after getting absolutely bummed by Vikings with that middle area of the pitch with no players in it. Lesson learned there, I think. Do you think he's going to get bumped by anyone? I think they've been solid this season. They've just struggled the last 5 or 6.
If it was a choice, out of the Super League managers, he was going to bum me. I'd take Jens on. You would have. Yeah.
Do you think? Who do you think? Do you think Jens is a little bit jealous that Swannies came along and kind of took all of the shine off Jens's good luck? Is he? Yeah.
He's always been my number one.
Has he? Yeah. And there is the number one for the assists for number one Marajo. It obviously pissed you off. I thought Laurent Robert got the assist, but he hasn't. Greaves is not with us, but there's his stats for when he watches back in the morning. Bostock, again, it looks to be the middle of the pitch where they are struggling. That combination of Pat Zoglu and Henrik Larsson just really not doing anything much there at all. Swanee, great of you to join us. See that again, mate?
Hakan Mills doing well.
Edwards confirming that Laurent Robert has never been in the Super League. Hakan Mill there, yeah, he's just doing absolutely now, is he really? And Swanee goes as is. Jens loves Laurent Robert being in the league, and we roll to 60. Celtics haven't scored. Oh, we're there already. Wow. And we stop at 60 just as Celtics look to be having a corner. I'll just pull that up for Greavesy. What's he said? No subs at half time. Torres for whichever striker is doing the worst at 60. And that would be Penner.
There we go.
So we go El Nino for the Celtics. And it's not getting much better there for Swanee.
Those 3 up top, haven't you? He's got it.
Yeah.
It's business end of the season. We're getting points in.
Yeah, you've got to go, haven't you? You've got to try and get back into games that you're behind in. Whoever I've got in DM at the bench, get him on for Mills. So that would be Alexei Smirton. Might be your debut, that.
Oh.
And Arrow's up for everyone.
Yeah. Even do it.
He's on mute.
Wings all the way. CM to AM.
CM to AM.
Boo.
Got that excited then, thought we were going to have some...
I'd love to see that. It'd be great, man.
DM?
I said AM to striker.
What was Forest's result today, Rob?
1-1 with Wolves today.
Better side, lucky. What was a crack? I didn't see any of the 3 o'clocks today.
They pasted Wolves for 85 minutes. Then they scored on their own shot, and that's Forest going down, mate. They're going down.
That's very, very Wolvesy, that, isn't it?
How did you get on today?
Got absolutely battered by City second half. Really good in the first half, and then just limp-dicked in the second half. 2-0 Celtics, taking advantage of that space created by the Arrows. It looks as though, although there's a lot of red and white in this last 30 minutes, which wasn't there in the first half, chance skied over by someone there, or applying some pressure. Stanley just cannot get a shot on target. It doesn't look as though. Khan with a big save to stop it from being a rout, and that brings up the final whistle. And the first game of the night doesn't end in 4-3, but ends at 2-0. And that doesn't really reflect how dominant it felt in the text, Rob.
No, not at all, mate. It's a good result for the Celtics. They're still going to finish 10th, aren't they? So let's not get excited.
Yeah, I think one thing Greavesy has got right this season is that pairing of the DMs. He's obviously let Edgar Davids go to Phoenix, and he's kind of stuck a flag in the ground on Tamati and Gattuso, and it looks as though they've really done the job for him there tonight, controlling that midfield. And then Swanee, unlucky mate. It's never a good position to be in when you're kind of 2/3 of the season through and you're still scratching around for a first 11. Rob, I know you've been there a couple of times the last few seasons.
I'm there now.
Yeah, well, no, you're not, were you? You're not. You've got your tactic and you've got your more or less your first settled 11 for the first time in ages.
If my mega transfer comes off, then yeah.
Yeah, have you shook on that, by the way?
We have, yeah, we have.
You have, yeah. I did text Steve, ask him to confirm what that was, so you can let us know what that is at the end of the night. So we're going to the Spexxxial Gazelles next. Just a quick admin point as well. There was a few teams because of the deals that had shitloads of players in their first team. Like I'm talking, 7 or 8 additional. So I think Tato was one. I think Rose might have been one. So if anybody sees their 24 or 23 or whatever it is and thinks, why is this person not in it? It's because you had about 5 extra and I've just chucked anybody not playing tonight. So just confirm with, who will it be on Wednesday? Ryan? Just confirm on Wednesday with Ryan who you want in those final 24s. Gazelles have done some big business. Getting Francesco Totti in, I thought, was a really, really good move, although Vikings don't look any worse off for it, by the way. And then Landon Donovan, who he does look good. Martin is long lauded as being the best striker on the game other than Sigalko. I think I might have paraphrased him slightly incorrectly. But Landon Donovan, anything about Gazelles this season, mate?
Solid. I like Totti. I like him in there and in the hole as well. Donovan, AMC. I'd be tempted to get Donovan up front, just set him free.
Yeah, I suppose Hussein's that big target man, isn't he?
But the thing is, though, if you got you want to be scoring goals, don't you? And he's not. Hussein's only got 2 in 7, hasn't he? That's why I've shifted out all mine and got Van Nistelrooy and you got to trust your man, haven't you? You got to get him in there.
Back your boys, got to back your boys, haven't you? Just like you did with Taunton, Moukoko, Zola, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cosmos probably for the first time in Dimble's stint with us, even when he was with Churchtown and he had a really bum hand or on a really, really rotten run. But if there's anybody that can turn it around, it'll be Dims. Struggling for goals, just getting edged out of games, but really, really struggling for goals. So he's made a couple of really big moves. Cashed in on Brugging, brought Roy Mackay in, Rustigo comes in. Julius Agahawa, who looks like a really good Agahawa for this early in the save, plays at MC tonight. Is that a sign of Dimble wanting to go balls deep and score some goals?
It looks like he's got Mackay in as well. He's got Mackay in as well, is that right?
Yeah, he's got Mackay in, but he's on the bench. Yeah, so he's going with
Mackay, Henry, Anelka, Nick Franco. There's goals in there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And Anelka, he's been quiet, but he's still in the hunt for that golden boot behind the one and only Maxim Sigalko. This is a big game, this, for both clubs. Let's just have a little look where the league table kind of finds them both. A win for Gazelles would put them a point behind Coast. A win for Coast would really, really kind of start cutting them clear of that dotted line behind Dragons, Gazelles and Fulchester. Draw, probably they would both take, but doesn't do them any massive favours in terms of the season narrative. What are you going with here, Rob, mate?
I would love a draw, yeah.
You would love a draw?
I would love a draw.
Let's see what happens. Yellow card early doors for Hoffland. Looks to be Gazelles with a bit more of the ball, but Cosmos with a little bit more of the text. Gazelles coming into it, and there is Dario Hussein, the big man up top. Yellow card for Phil Neville. Cosmos trying to put them under pressure. Lots of yellow cards in this first half. Nikiforenko puts it wide under pressure from the defender. Great football by Cosmos. And another yellow card. I think we've had at least 5 in this first half. Donovan can't keep a chance down. And there is Didier Gatz, who I think is a former Cosmos man, who Dimble, I think, regrets getting rid of a little bit. The Gazelles, probably with their performance of the season so far, find themselves 2-0 up against a much fancied East Coast Cosmos side. Anything standing out for you there, Rob?
Interesting, isn't it? You see a couple of sides having a bit of a wobble. Coaster wobbling, Burner wobbling. The Crowns are
wobbling.
Yep. Well, they got. I beat them. Let's not forget that. Yeah, they got.
I don't think you're ever going to let Edwards forget that, mate. Are you? Dan, there is your bits and bobs at half time, mate. Just solid throughout, really, with the front three not having to do much other than try and put it in the back of the net. And Dimble, some stinkers in there for you, mate. Toldo and Hofland, how solid have they been for Cosmos for a long time, and they've both decided to chuck in a 5 tonight. We did have 5 yellow cards, but 4 of them going to Cosmos, and a lot more of the foul count as well. So let me just check the comments. Dan goes as is, not wanting to change anything, so we'll just hop over to Dimble. That's some big questions to answer for Cosmos at half time. Few players carrying a yellow.
I'd be tempted to shuffle Agahara out that middle of the park role. What's he got? Menace de Silva can go in there, or?
He's going. Let's just see where he's going. He's going wide men back to wing back. Wide men back to wing back with small arrow. Henri to AMC Central. Agahara AMLC with an arrow. 4 arrows on DMs.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean that probably reflects what you were saying about Swanee kind of wanting to chase the game and get back into it. That feels very much like Cosmos know that there's a lot of teams breathing down their neck. I think that was Donovan hitting the post, and there's another hitting the post from someone. Not sure who it is, and we're at 60. And it looks to be more Gazelles again. Toldo's turned his 5 to a 6. Let's just see what Dimble wants to do at 60 minutes.
Again, you've got to push on.
I mean, I'm not sure about that. I think I'm a little bit in the Edwards camp when you're chasing games where sometimes you put your best 11 on the pitch and you put your best tactic. Sometimes changing it too much just bites you in the arse and it falls apart, really. Really solid from the Gazelles, match rating wise, all over the pitch from front to back.
So Dimble's gone. Yeah, Rustico for Hofland, Mackay for Nicky. Yeah. Get Mackay on there. So I like Mackay in that AMC spot, yeah.
Is that it from Dims? Rustico for Hofland? There we go, yeah. And then, where are we at? Down the man is when Rui Costa for Donovan.
Lovely.
Ironically, I think Dimble is waiting on Rui Costa making an appearance tonight to get him at Cosmos. So that's interesting.
Nice.
So they both meet subs, and again we've got a lot of white and grey there in terms of the commentary. Cosmos again struggling to score. There'll be definite back to the drawing boards for Dimble, I think, if they fail to score again tonight. He's rode it a little bit with injuries and suspensions, but this does look to be a bit of a bad result for him. And well done to Gazelles, who come away with the 3 points and the clean sheets and a pretty dominant performance, Rob.
It's wide open now. He smashed the league wide open. Lovely.
Yeah, that would put Gazelles on 22, just a point behind Coast. And, the chase and pack with it all to play for tonight. Hofland getting the 5. Is it kind of the 3 missed tackles? Probably.
Usually very consistent, isn't he, Hofland?
Yeah, he's been a big player for him, I think, since he brought him in. So that concludes game 2. Well done, Dan, and Lucky Dims. And we're on to Fulchester against Vikings tonight, which I think could be a really tasty game. Ryan, the breaking news from Fulchester Phoenix is obviously that they've kind of went into the market for a bit of support and insight with their backroom staff. Obviously in the past, Ryan Aldred has won the trophy 2 times, but it also looks as though he's went back to the past and reached out to a man whose Twitter feed looks like a Bernard Manning Twitter feed. So he's brought Chris Grixty in as assistant director of football, kind of consultant kind of role, I believe. I don't think Grixty's had much to do with it tonight.
Where is he?
Thoughts on that move?
First things first, right? If you're gonna fucking stroll into the Super League, 14 games in, get yourself on the fucking stream, get in the chat, and let's see what you're made of. Come on, there's no space for hiding in this league, is there?
No, it's wise words as always from the people's champ.
I want the opportunity to question Mr. Grix on a number of issues, which I will leave until he makes an appearance.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's fair. I think, you know, as a someone who leans very much down the centre politically, I think it's important that we all have our views and we're all allowed to say what we think, and everyone's allowed to retort to a question. Yeah. So, Mr. Grixley, this is an open offer for a debate with the People's Champion. Anytime, any place, I'm ready. Right.
Rob Sloth, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Sloth. Back to the action. We've got Kieran Dyer playing an MC. We know Zanetti's out the door after this game, so I imagine he'll come over. Ryan is probably not expected to do as poorly as he has done this season so far. What do you put that down to, Rob? Is it kind of just inheriting someone's team?
Arrogance. I put it down to Mr. Aldred strolling back in here, thinking we're all just going to be, oh, Ryan's back. Oh, great. Nah, not working, is it, mate? It just makes you realise what a good job that Macca did, and how poor it's moved on, Ryan, since you were in charge of the team, mate. The league.
I've had a sneak peek at the back pages in the early morning press preview, and the papers have obviously went to print before this game is played. Yeah, but I understand that Macca is watching live from Dubai on a 3-hour ahead time schedule, and I understand that the bat signal, for want of a better term, is about to imminently go up in the air. On to someone who I think deserves a hell of a lot of credit for the last 2 seasons, really, in terms of his draft and then in terms of the team that he's pulled together. And I think that this is now probably Olasadebe aside, a top 3 first 11. And we've got some visitors in the. Have we got some visitors?
Who is it?
We've got the main man himself. We've got the main man, the Kevin Phillips #1 fan club inductee. It is everybody's favourite spud, Tato Mourinho. Rob, Jens Vikings, we all love him, but probably the best he's ever been doing in the Super League, I think, in terms of his 11.
£53 from last time around.
What? You talking to me or Rob?
I was talking to Rob Sloth, and he just got very confused by the background noise.
I'm going to be honest. Sorry, can you ask that question again, please?
Yeah, so I was just saying, Rob, look at you beautifully gazing at the Tato's beautiful eyes and just getting totally distracted. I think this is Jens' best ever 11 in the Super League ever.
I do, but Jens, you know, Jens is like the beautiful girl you take out on a date, isn't she? You know, you take her out, you show her a good time, you pay for her dinner, you get her back to her place, and she's strictly missionary, and it's boring. And you always finish before her. So
I think I think the finishing before her says more about you than her, or what position she likes it in, to be fair, Rob. Tato, what are you going for here, mate, score wise?
1-1.
1-1. Robert?
4-3 to the Vikings.
Fulchester win would really pull the Vikings back to that line and also put Fulchester along with Gazelles back into the mix. Lots of draws for Fulchester over the last couple of weeks, so they do need the 3 points, and the Vikings could really make a statement and put some solid pressure on Cosmos. And there is Christian Vieri. The main man, Chris Grixley, tweeted his first bit of Super League content this afternoon with Vieri with a female on his lap, and it looks as though he's been watching.
What did he tweet this afternoon? Was it an excerpt from Mein Kampf?
It's a picture of Christian Vieri with the.
Was it a picture of Enoch Powell?
With a lady friend on his knee. Del Piero gets the injury and also has a yellow card, so you'd imagine that would probably just be Mido straight swap, Tato.
Yeah, it's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Easy that one.
Excellent.
Has Mido, as Jens told you where he got the idea for Serginho from, or?
I think you're just about to tell us, so go on, mate. I don't want to steal your thunder.
I said there was one week where he was terrible at left back, and he was like, "I need a left back. I got in his DMs, told him to buy Serginho. 2 goals later. Cheers, you're welcome.
He's been good for him. He's been good for him. Half time with not much happening. Fulchester will love to see that same kind of dull affair at full time, because it'll mean they've kind of done their job. Haven't seen Mr. Aldred in the chat, but I know that he's about and on prior engagements, so he's probably pretending to have a shit in the toilet, to be honest, at the minute. There is Jens' stats at half time. Del Piero on 60 for anybody that kind of links that to how long someone's going to be out for. Just a bit average, Tito.
Yeah, he's signed a lot of big names and stuff, but Vieira and Mendieta are people who've, you underperform, you could say, for their names and for their attributes. So if they continue to underperform, he's going to be pretty dull.
Yeah, what's kind of going on there? So you've got Mendieta and Vieira, who haven't really seen much of the ball, but have had to tackle a hell of a lot. And then you've got Nedved, Dyer in the middle on the opposite side that have not had to tackle at all. But so that probably tells you which way the game's been going. Let's just see if Ryan's in the chat. If one of you gents can keep an eye on if Ryan pops up and asks to change anything.
I mean, I don't know about you lads, but for me, for Fulchester at half time, if I was one of the guys managing Fulchester, I'd want to see Hopkins coming in left back, Farage up top, with Pol Pot in the hole. So
Pol Pot in the hole. Tato, can you just read those changes for us, please, mate?
No, yeah, that's Hopkins left back, Pol Pot in the hole.
No, Mido up the striker. Is that Derby with an arrow behind? Vieira and Mendieta got an 8 and 9 in one game they've played, Tato. So Jens is not having any of that. And I'll just give Ryan a couple of seconds.
I do understand as well, just before
I wasn't referring to just this one game, Jens, to be fair. I just mean in general.
Mr. Top of the League has joined us. Rox, how you doing, my man?
Evening, guys.
You good?
Right.
Rox, who's your favourite racist?
What, just in this league?
Just anywhere, really.
Or of all time?
Of all time. I mean, I said Pol Pot. I understand that Pol Pot is politically left, but left and the right, they're kind of the same thing, aren't they? The extremes. So,
Gents, I'm just going to give a soft 20 carats just for Ryan.
Discriminatory, though.
Was Genghis Khan? He wasn't a racist, though, was he? He just fucking loved it.
He was just very, very good at killing.
Yeah.
He really discriminate.
There's no discrimination with Genghis. You could join Genghis and not get killed. That's the way it worked. So not a racist. I'd actually say he was more of a socialist than a.
I think there's a lot of historical inaccuracy that I just think we haven't got the time to unpick there, lads. Sorry, but
the thing is, Duggan, the thing is, if only there was someone in the chat with a history degree that you could ask.
Vikings hit the crossbar just on the 60-minute mark. And what would you be doing here if you were Jens Rox?
Not playing fucking wing backs. Why is the whole league gone to wing backs? The whole league's gone to wing backs. Who's top of the league? The one team that doesn't play wing backs.
But there's not many decent wingers, Rox. You've got the one decent winger.
I've got one decent winger. There's plenty of decent wingers out there.
There's not.
Yeah, you've probably got the best winger in the game, mate, to be fair.
It depends what you want out of a winger, right? If you look at Giggs and Deisler, neither of them have got bags of assists. It's more key passes that you want. It's not assists.
They've both got 3 or 4 each, mate.
And there is the equaliser. Mido gets pushed up to be the second striker, and Mido makes it ones each. That could be massive in terms of the rest of the league. We get to 85 minutes. We're going to slow it down. Look at Tony in an offside position twice, back to back. Fulchester trying to get the ball forward. Simeone with a long ball. Costanzo gets it. Valgarin making his debut tonight. Mido into Tony. Tony on the volley. And Sebastian Frey makes a big save again. And that is probably not the result that either of them wanted, but probably one they take. To be fair to Jens, Vikings really turned it around that second half and created, 3-4 times as much than they did in that. After game 20, we should have a deadline day stream where managers can dip in and confirm transfer dealings and fuel speculation. Yeah, that would be class. Patrick Vieira, Tato, gets man of the match after you slagged him off at halftime.
Yeah, I stepped it up second half, didn't I? Quality.
Rob, anything standing out for you there? Is that one that got away for Fulchester?
I just think it's a great result for equality. So I think we're all happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. It's good for me. I mean, you've got to look at it from a purely selfish point of view, haven't you? You know, I just want all these to be draws, and then I'll
absolutely
pump whatever loser I'm playing tonight, and then.
Absolutely. Next game is Dragons v Asta. So we'll start with Dragons and Tato, because I know you love commenting on us so much. Any thoughts on Dragons this season?
Who? The Worms.
The Worms.
Yeah. But I mean, you're having an absolutely horrendous season, awful season considering the players you've got and the dealings you've done. Yeah, awful. 4 wins out of 14 is bad. So.
I would absolutely agree with you. I would absolutely agree. I don't think there's anything that you've said in there that I disagree with. And over to Asta. Rocks. This Asta side, I think there's players in here that probably the likes of you, Dimble, Stee could probably get a tune out of, but not many could. How do you rate Savage's kind of job so far, Rocks?
He's picked up a couple of decent players. I like Boma on the left-hand side. He's really good. Andy Cole's pretty handy. Victor's always one that I look at and go, why have I never signed this guy?
He's a right winger, though, isn't he? He's
Panucci at right wing back's just weird.
Fits in well.
Panucci at right wing back's just plain weird. Has he not got Raymer who can play there?
Yeah, he's got Raymer knocking about as well.
It's just always one in his team that he plays in a random fucking position.
Any predictions, Rob?
You should be winning this, mate. If you don't win this, then you should give me Ronaldinho for Tonton Zella Magoki.
I absolutely agree, but that wasn't a prediction. What was the score going to be?
1-0 Asta.
1-0 Asta. Yellow card there straight away for one of the Asta men. Looks to be more possession for Asta, but more in the text for Dragons. Gerard with a booking. Perez, who's been great for Asta this season. Lizarazu, who's been good for Dragons this season. Here comes Cole, right in the middle of it, trying to get forward. Perez again. There's a booking for Lizarazu. It looks to be Asta who are in this game a little bit with a conventional formation compared to the mad shit that he's played over the last few weeks, which obviously I'm delighted about. Booking for Keogh. Absolutely, yeah. Booking for Brown, and no team quite able to get the breakthrough just yet. You worry that one of these yellows is going to turn into a red, given the records of these two sides this season, and it's 0-0 at half time, and that is a bit shit. And again, just like the PPP game, Dragons creating absolutely fucking shitloads, but not putting anything in the back of the net. Cathu's had 3 of the shots. It's really not great. And a Martin Q on 5. Just pull up Asta's stats. Anything sticking out on either of those sides for you?
Go 1 at the back, Dragon.
Yeah, I was going to say you need to go to a 1. I was going to say that.
Yeah,
go 1 at the back.
Even 3 DMCs or 2 up front, whichever one you use.
I haven't seen Savage in the chat, to be fair. Has anyone seen him tonight? No.
No.
Just give him a couple of seconds, and we're going to make a move. Where are we at?
I'll be going to either AMCs or sticking on the DMC or something.
There we go.
Go on, get on. Yeah,
that's better. See all of these random diagonal arrows and stuff like that. You can just overcomplicate things. You don't need it.
Let's see what Asta's going to do. Nothing until 60. Hello, Savage, mate. I hope you're well. Dragon's going a little bit balls deep and trying to get something done. Cross there. Lizarazu, Ronaldinho with the follow-up. Free kick for Asta. Nothing happening again. Dragons haven't put the ball in the back of the net for another game. Penalty. Oh, play on. That's a sickness. 63 minutes. Yellow card for Ndaye. And Dragons again. Oh, not putting the ball in the back of the net. What we got to do? Yeah, we've got to fucking put 3 up top.
Doing less is often what you need, remember? That last game.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? I did. What are we going to do there then? This is not that, is it?
Bottle it. Oh, you bottled it.
I did bottle it, mate. I did bottle it. There we are, Savage. 64 minutes gone. What are you doing? Do you know what, lads? The worst thing about streaming, right, is streaming your own side. It's like there's 101 fucking things going off in your head at the same time. I fucking hate it. And then so conscious of like not fucking up Savage's changes when he comes in, because if you fuck up his changes when you're playing against him, it just reeks. We'll just wait and see what Savage wants to do.
No change.
Condition, no change. He's rolling with it. This screams of an Asta 1-0 offside
of a 1-0.
It does, doesn't it?
It
does.
He's due one, isn't he?
That, wouldn't he? He is.
He hasn't had one of these in a while.
The conventional formation definitely looks much more solid. Nesta with a foul. A lot of ball here for Asta Athletic. Header from Victor. Bayer saves it. Oh, double save. Oh my god. Double save.
Lovely bit of shot for this. This is fantastic.
It is, mate, isn't it? This is awful. This is absolutely awful. It's coming to that side of the time of the season where you just need points. Oh, Asta are going to score here as well, aren't they? Fuck me. Oh, this is awful. Of course, Boswell sends it wide.
It's fucking Paul Boswell. What do you expect?
There's a goal in this, isn't there? I can feel it.
There is, isn't there? There is, isn't there?
I mean, there needs to be.
Duggan, we're going to see some. We're going to see some headers if you score it, mate. We're going to give you up.
It's been a decent game though for a 0-0.
Lots of chances, it feels like. Anyway.
Yeah,
come on.
I'd agree with that.
Take the draw.
Run on to you.
Oh, fuck's sake. It's a bit shit, this lad's, isn't it?
No, it's
He's
quality.
just getting further and further away from his camera, isn't he? Just gradually.
Oh, here we go. Asta goal. Oh.
Red.
Free kick. Perez. Top bends.
It's a night for the right
He
wingers.
scored from it as well.
Victor! Oh!
That's shit. That is really shit. Fuck me.
Double badges.
Created absolutely loads as well, but just
That was a very enjoyable watch.
I bet you was. Constantine's been poor for a while now. He's a big person at Dragon Row. He's not scored in a while. I think it's maybe time to drop him out. That is fucking horrendous, that Milzic. Well played, Savage, mate. Really solid at the back. From that back six, you'd probably say the two centre-halves and then the four across the middle. Roy Keane doing bits in the middle of the pitch, although not really getting much of the ball to show for it. And
he's picked a decent formation with players in the right position this week. Arrows or not,
absolutely.
It must be very annoying that he's done that against you. I would be annoyed.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I've seen it.
If he sticks with that, then he'll do well. And he needs to change his AMCs because they're both right wingers, which the league loves at the moment. But get some AMCs in there, and he'll do well.
Yeah, absolutely. I would echo that. And Dye, man, look at that. 24 tackles, 16-1. That's why we've missed them all season. Asta probably win that without Ndai in there, to be honest, lads. Well played, Savage. And let's move on. So, next game of the night is Northern Burn against the White Rose. Where we at? Ian Edwards welcomes back Zia Elias. And did Jeremy's play last game? No, he welcomes them both back. So I think there was about a 4-week period in save where there was no games. There was that winter break, which probably came at the best time for him because it meant that Zia Elias and Jeremy's could come back. Haggis are the form side out of these two at the top. Any thoughts on this 11, Rob?
Oh, it's just textbook. It's got it'd be a good one, this actually, because it's nice to see. It's like, do you want to squeeze your left ball or your right ball till it pops? Who do you want to win? Yeah. Rox, what do you think, Rox? What do you think about? Go on, you're a profound lover of the 271. What do you think, mate?
It's wing backs. I'm bored.
Wing backs are bored. Okay.
What's the fucking point? What's the fucking point in wing back?
What do you mean? What's the point in wing backs?
What's the point of anything? We're all here to have fun, aren't we? Don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jesus Christ. Fox, are you wearing a vest? What are you wearing? What vest are you wearing?
Yeah, what's the point in vests?
Huh?
Let's get on to that.
You look like you're going to a sauna.
It's an Oleron Eagles one. It's a
What's
random rugby sevens team or something like that.
Oh.
From a company called Locker Stash, who I think are based down, like Cornwall or Devon or something. They do second-hand sports gear. So I've ordered a few things off them.
That's quite. Maybe I'll pop in. Thank you for the fashion recommendations, Rox.
Good evening, Australia manager, Champ Mega Horse. How you doing, mate?
G'day, very well.
Oh, and water's wet.
I arrived at a goal straight away from Mr. Sigalko. I was a surprise.
Horsey, I believe this is our first virtual meeting, so hello.
It may be. Hello, right.
First ever.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
I think we've been on like a big group of people, but yeah, first time certainly on a Super League stream.
Well, there we are.
Yeah, I'm very memorable, so... Rox will know the answer to this question. So, you just mentioned Sevens Rugby. Which Sevens Rugby player is on the CM0102 database?
Just while Rox thinks of that, look at that from White Rose.
Oh, blimey! Steve's got a ticket, hasn't he? There's a good side in there, isn't there?
There's always a good Steve side. It's not a question of the players he's got. His sides always look class on paper. Northern Burn really struggling to do anything there, but when you've got Sigalko, you don't need many chances at all. And Rose, you'd probably say the ratings don't necessarily reflect all of that. But Veron's in the mix there. Kaladze, who's been massive for him this season. And Raul, I know Steve thought long and hard about what to do with Raul, whether to drop him back or not. But he's not really doing much there. Edwards was putting him up top.
Yeah, he's a striker. He's not an AMC. Anyone who thinks about playing him in AMC needs their fucking head checked.
Roxy, are you okay tonight, mate? Are you on your period or something, or
there is no bullshit tonight. It is all just done. Like you're saying that about Steve's team. Look at his back six and tell me that any of them would be your first choice.
By Broncos,
any of them be your first choice?
It
wouldn't for me.
I tell you what, I'd run
Kaladze be close
in my squads, and I'd have Van Broncos as well.
They're all very good kind of second choice players, but he's scrapped his defence to get some attacking.
Northern Burn coming up to have a chance, coming up to 60 minutes, a lecture for Kaba Kaladze and an offside. We stopped it on 61 minutes. Haven't seen Steve, who's another manager that was on prior engagements tonight. So we'll just pull his match ratings up unless he magically appears from somewhere.
I was supposed to text him when he was on.
That's exactly why I posted the running order in the chat, because I thought there's no way that if it's a drop in and all hell's breaking loose that people are going to be able to give him a shout. Like, does Edwards stick or twist here, Tato?
Edwards will stick.
I think he'll probably bring Saviola on for Cole, I would imagine, but. Yeah, he said that he was on a bit of a dodgy form. Rob said, I don't know what his form actually is, but I'm sure it's not dodgy. But he'll be worried though after that performance.
Edwards goes as is. Will not slow it down just yet. Type of result, beating Northern Burn at their place is the type of result that could really turn the feel of a season around, even if it's not the actual final position.
Winning at Burn's not for everyone, is it? Not everyone can win at Northern
Burn. No, not everyone can win at Northern Burn, mate. Do you know who has won at Northern Burn this season?
This guy. This fucking
People's
guy
champ.
right here.
The People's Champ. The People's Champ is the answer we were looking for. Throw it into Northern Burn. Joe Cole, who stayed on the pitch. George Atos Contra must score. And that is why they are top of the league, albeit jointly. They're never out of games. And fair play to Ian Edwards, who has held his balls between his legs and said, the best players are on the pitch. Let's roll. Veron gets a warning. Free kick to Northern Burn. Steve is going to be absolutely sick as a dog when he sees this. And if someone can give him a heads up to not watch it tonight when he's 25 deep, that might be saving the Samaritans an intervention.
But he's only like 5 points off the playoffs, so it's not a bad season so far. He's sold his entire defence to get an attack, and he's lost 2-1. Idiot.
It's all over. He's 9 points off. It's all over. He's done.
The only competition he's in now is with Tato to see who sign all of the players in the database first.
Tate, how many players have you signed?
Lots.
Let's just give a bit of credit there for Edwards as well, though, for kind of going as is, you know, and getting credit for it. Rox, you kind of highlighted how poor Steve's centre halves are in the past, and you've kind of alluded to it tonight. Chris Perry there with a 5. You know, imagine that's probably because he's to blame for maybe both goals. But Steve Wright is going to be absolutely sick as a chip, and that puts a little bit of pressure.
Is anyone going to sign all 58 players or whatever they're allowed to sign next season?
The
break the record. 4 from every club, 5 foreigners, and a regen.
We are going to go with what I think will be the game of the night, and that is Badgers against Haggis. Badgers, who are bidding to really stop Haggis on what is an incredible run. Not a run of results in a row, but a run of results that is really impressive, and the season's fucking really impressive. Tato, talk us through your boys tonight and what you're looking to do and where the game's going to be won for you.
Oh, we're not going to win. So the game.
Why do you say that? Come out and say yes, I'm going to win. Come on.
I've tried many times and I can't beat Haggis. No, I'm looking forward to seeing my new guys play. Very much so. I like my team. I like my setup. It's good. Bring it on, you shithouse.
Okay, and in my opinion, by far and away, the best side this season, or the most impressive side this season, has been Haggis under the stewardship of Rox and Campbell. Rox riding a couple of little niggles in here, but Deisler's back. Lucio comes in alongside Ferdinand. Paul Scholes is fit for the first time in a while. Talk us through this 11, mate.
Yeah, it's Lucio was a little bit of a vanity signing. It's kind of the one time that we've gone, let's get a big name. But he's good. I think he works well on a 2. I don't think he'll work well as a lone centre-back if we went that way. Deisler coming back's good. We seem to have turbocharged Mickey Stewart, who we've just signed, who looks unbelievably good. I don't fucking trust him, but Campbell insisted that he played. So we're playing it.
20 long shots and finishing.
He's not. He can't speak Spanish, so I've not really got an interest in him. I know Mendes was man of the match last time out and got dropped, which was a bit brutal. But ghost game.
Sorry, lads, we've got a ghost game, which brings us to Rob Sloth's game of the evening. Taylor's had enough. He's went out the door. And they play against Hodges Walton Casuals, and he's had a really shit weekend by all accounts. So love goes out to you, Hodgie, mate, and we won't laugh like Ryan did. He drops one of the MCs back to play 2-4-2, and then the 2 up top. Van der Vaart and Imar in there, hoping to create chances. Imar making his debut from Tato tonight against a Rob Sloth side that are absolutely flying at the minute. Rob, talk us through this 11 and kind of where you think you're going to win this game tonight.
Right. So this 11 is still a little bit. Let's just say we're in transition, right? So I've got 3 players coming in who are going to go in my first team. Mate, I put I had Van Nistelrooy up top. Not Palermo.
Okay, mate.
Fucking hell.
Will you tell us what that deal is, Rob? GVB.
So I've got rid of Candela, and I've gone GVB, Ronnie Johnson, and Steve Finnan for Candela. What are you shaking?
Why?
Why not?
Because you've got rid of the best.
Because none of them are as good as Candela.
None of them.
And you've got Sally Amazic. What do you need them for?
Shut the fuck up, Mark. No one asked you. I was asking.
What I would say on that deal,
strength in depth.
is I think Rob's problem for a while has been like kind of strength in depth, and I think Kandaya, he's been class for Rob, but that does kind of improve his options a little bit, and maybe Tonton, Zolo, Mukugu won't be getting a run out. So penultimate game of the evening. Any predictions from you, Horse?
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
1-0.
To be fair.
Early on,
and there
maybe an equaliser
on his debut scores for the first time and only scored how many for you, Tato?
3 and 14.
Did it? 3
Imagine
and
if he gets
14.
a hat trick. 3.
Yeah. Oh, there is Emerson. It's
I hope
2
he
on
does. I like him.
PPP.
Candela assists.
PPP are the real deal this season. Delvecchio injured. Rob, what are you doing here, mate? Saha?
Sahar and swapping with Smith, please.
And that takes us to... Interestingly, we've not had a red card tonight, which is
As
a
is.
rarity. Buffon with a 5, a rare 5, and Dakor, who has been a bit of a walking red card this season with a 5 as well. I don't think Hodges about, but we'll just pull that up for him when he comes to have a watch in the morning. Rob, you're going as is.
Oh, none.
You're going as is, Rob.
Yeah, let's roll. Yeah.
Okay, we're rolling to 60. I'm just going to give Hodge a couple of more seconds in case he wants to hop on. We didn't actually bring the match stats up, I don't think. Pretty even game, but PPP, just like against Dragons in midweek, have taken their chances.
I'll have to jump off. My little one's crying, so it might be back, but who knows? See you guys.
That came really late from Hadji. Sorry, Hadji. That just as I hit play, that came in. So let me just do that now. Decor off. Get our helmet on. 3 up top. Decor off. Get helmet on. 3 up top. Yeah, sorry, Hodgie, mate. Literally came in as I hit play. And we'll try and roll to 60 minutes. We get there. Oh, and there's a follow-up. Looks as though Van Nistelrooy could have scored there to put them 3-1 up. But Alan Smith, I think, no, he's not on the pitch. Something happened there in the match report, but we'll go back and see. Is he on the pitch, is he? I think it was an Alan Smith missed chance. Hodgie's only just made that 3 up top move, so I'll just pull that up. Rafael van der Vaart struggling on 78% if you want to change anything there, Hodgie, mate. And we'll go to Rob. Rob, pretty solid. No yellow cards. Yeah. You're going to blink here, or are you going to just keep as is?
I'm going to... Can you look at my ratings, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just roll. Nicky Butt with an 8. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah, let's just go. Let's roll.
Let's go. And then Hodgie is going 2 ram tackled Smith on the rebound. Cheers, Jens. This would really pull PPP away from that dotted line. But there is Jean-Luc Zambrota, who gets the equaliser for Walton Casuals, who haven't been great this season, but they do seem to have stolen quite a few points from losing positions this season. Another chance for Casuals who look miles better. And there is Pablo Aymar, who puts
this
Casuals...
would be Hodgie's record win, wouldn't it?
It's all the people I've sold.
This would be the mythical 700th win or whatever it is.
It will be. It's been a bit of a monkey on his back, to be honest, for I think 4 or 5 games since...
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, what a time to do it.
And there it is, against the People's Champion on Core Comms, the People's Goat. There is Hodgie with a 3-2 win when he looked dead and buried, really, at a large part of that game. Goes for the 3 up top and snatches victory from the jaws of defeat.
3 of the goals scored by ex-Badgers.
Yeah.
How has Aymar to score twice? How is Aymar scoring twice?
In a 2 as well, Tato. That is huge for Casuals. What does that do for Casuals? It pulls them, right into the mix on 18 points, chasing that dotted line, pulls PPP. What a chance for Badgers. If Badgers can get the win tonight, they would go into 3rd, Tato.
It's not happening. Come on.
It's not happening, no. Let me just pull up the match stats, sorry. Buffon, as I was saying, turned that 5 into a 7 at half time. Dakor was binned off, and the man Guilherme, who I love, doesn't do much, but he gets a 7. And then Rob, you must be good at them, mate.
Good performance overall, really.
He's down in a beer. It's not quite a 43% gin, but he's down in a beer. Right then. So we arrive at the penultimate game of the evening. We've already chatted a little bit of shit about both lineups, and White Castle is at the door. Congratulations, Hodgie. How many wins does that put him on?
A few.
Anyone actually got the start?
Don't know.
Where's Swan? He knows.
Record wins anyway. Congratulations, Swanee. And we kick off. Best of luck to you both, lads. I'll not ask you for a prediction. And here we go at the set with Scott Carreno as the referee. Lots of blue and black as opposed to black and blue, but Haggis do look to be creeping into it there. Stewart getting involved early. Casillas been very good for Badgers, to be fair, for a season 2 goalkeeper who usually takes a couple of seasons to get to his best. Corner taken for Badgers, 40 minutes played now. Not much in this. Amoroso, big save from the keeper. Badgers on the counter attack. See Roberto trying to get involved there, and
0 shots again by any chance?
I think we had 1.
Huh?
Yeah, bit of a stalemate from both sides. Tato, there's your stats at half time, mate. That front 3 or 3 of the all are really not really doing much. As is still 60 is the early call from Tato. He blinks first. Rocks, you doing much there at half time, mate?
Can we pull Scholes back to central midfield with an arrow and get Stewart off from Medina?
It hasn't lasted long. All right then, boys. Here we go. We'll roll until 60. Yellow card for Scholes in that MC, and there is Brozek. What a goal that could be for Badgers, and that would ultimately end this amazing run of Haggis as well. 60 minutes. We'll go to Haggis first. As I suspect they may well do the more. 6 for Lucio, 6 for Giggs, 6 for Helguera. What are you doing here, Rox, mate?
We are going to take... Get Figo on for Scholes. Yeah, chuck Medina next to Figo. Chuck him on the right of them. Yeah, and get Lucio off for Shearer, and chuck Shearer to the right of Klimovic. Yeah.
Just centralise everything.
Them. Chuck a straight arrow on Figo. In fact, chuck Figo in AMC. Why not? No arrow, Medina Central. Lovely.
Excellent. Liam, what are you doing there, mate? As he tries to do a bit of 4D chess visualising what Rox has just done.
Take off Enrique for Scally and put him right in the centre of that DM line. Move Vlahovic across. Arrow on Vlahovic. Arrow on Scally. I'll do. Okay,
a little bit of what we have. We hold there, probably from Badgers. Rox's substitutions have got Haggis points from losing positions on this run. We're going to slow it down as we get to 75 minutes. Scally coming forward with that forward run.
Ball since those subs.
Shevchenko just putting it narrowly over. Casillas plays it long, and there is Klimovic from long range, but misses the target. Everton, who is playing on a Brown injury tonight, which I was surprised by, to be honest. Figo gets the booking. 79 minutes gone. Can Haggis muster a clear chance for Klimovic or Amoroso, who've been banging form? Driven in low by Pavel Brozek and Medina, putting enough pressure on him to put it wide there. Vestavel lobs it forward. Ferdinand, Michelini, Figo, Medina in front of Shearer, but there is Casillas again. It'll be interesting to see his rating at the end of the game. He's been in front of everything. Campbell picks it out to Scally into the area. Vlahovic on the volley, just over the ball. Will Badgers rue these missed opportunities? Ferdinand has got the ball, not what Tato wants to see. Deisler, Amoroso, free kick and a booking for Campbell. One more chance, surely, for the mighty Haggis. Amoroso puts it over, and you'd think that that is going to be the end of the run. Brozek, who's been fantastic tonight, I think it'd be interesting to see his stats. Helguera gets it clear. Haggis going to create one more chance. Well, though. And there is a massive win for the Badgers. The really, really impressive run of Haggis has come to an end, and also Northern Burn watch on, and they'll probably be sending a bottle of wine down to Tato and the Badgers in the set. and that really does shake things up. The Badgers, for the first time ever, Tato, I reckon, are probably in third.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And looks to be really, really comprehensive. For the first time in about 10 or 11 games, there's some really big players there that have let the lads at Haggis down a little bit. Rocks, any kind of post-match thoughts?
We're just a bit shit, weren't we?
Yeah,
just
I think
a bit shit.
In the Super League, you're always going to have that, and everybody should be able to beat.
We were at least, it was what, 17 wins in a row or something, so all good things have to come to an end.
It was 17 matches in a row with wins and games. I think
it was all 4-0 wins as well.
Yes, look at that. Come on.
I mean, one day we'll look back on this era as incredible.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And
I need more DMCs that speak Spanish, basically.
Michael Stewart probably not be getting a look in anytime soon.
Can I get you to set a nickname for him? And can you turn him into Mickey Stuarto or something? In fact, just make him Mickey. M-I-K-I. Just make him Mickey.
Is he Greek?
Would it be Michel? M-I-C-H-E-L? Wouldn't that be the Spanish translation of it? Maybe.
There we go. Right then.
You'll get a chance. I can't wait to have DMs all week about, are we going to play Cam? Are we going to play Stuart tomorrow? Are we going to play Stuart tomorrow?
That brings us to the classifieds. Well done, Tato, mate. That's a massive 3 points for you, mate. Well done. That brings us to the classifieds. Dragons, I mean this in the loveliest possible way to Savage, because I absolutely adore the man. But embarrassingly, don't find the back of the net against a team that have struggled all season, nils each. But as we've just seen, a goal from Pavel Brozek in the second half and look dominant throughout the whole game, to be honest. Bostock Stanley on the receiving end of a 2-0 defeat by the Tortuga Celtics. Old school Greavesy that. 2 goals without response and looking fairly solid. Fulchester United and the Vikings drew ones each. The Vikings able to get back into the game with 20 minutes to spare, having been the second best side in the first half. Gazelles, for me, with probably their best result in absolutely ages. Really, really solid and untroubled, getting 2 goals before the half and then seeing the game out against Cosmos, who are having a little bit of a wobble. Northern Burn went as is, 3 times of asking, and managed to get a win despite looking the worst side out of the 2. Big questions again for Steve Wright to answer. And then the last game of the evening, what should have been the last game of the evening, if not for the ghost game, Rob Sloth defeated 3-2 by Hodgie, who becomes the Super League manager with the most games, the most wins ever. Congratulations to Hodgie. Tomorrow night. So again, lads, I'm not really that fussed on a deadline for submission, because I appreciate the back-to-back shows are a little bit difficult amongst everything. So just let us know if you're struggling, but by 5 p.m. would be great. Badgers go to Astor, Coast go to PPP, Haggis go to Bostock, Vikings go to Burn, Celtics go to Gazelles, Casuals go to Fulchester, sorry, other way around, and the Dragons go to White Rose. So everyone I said was at home is actually away there.
Reading them American style.
Yeah. Anything else you want to see, lads? League table. So we have 11 games left. Northern Burn for the first time in a while have a 3 point gap to Haggis in second on 28. Badgers now what look to be the team that are chasing with all those new signings in third on 24 points. Yeah, 12 goals and you're in third. That is an absolute fucking joke. A Campbell's bookmark that me saying the Dragons are going to finish above you as well. So I think I might regret that one, mate, for the first time in a few seasons. Vikings on 23 points. Cosmos, who again have been poor for a while, but still see themselves above the dotted line on 23 points in fifth. Gazelles have put themselves back into the mix as they did for most of the last season on 22 points. PPP on 21. Dragons and Fulchester and Casuals, you'd like to think they're only 1 game away from kind of getting back into that top 6, but potentially not. Celtics on 17 points, Bostock on 17 points, White Rose, who I think have been the unluckiest side all season, on 13, and then bringing up the rear is Mike Savage's Voodoo Astor Athletic in 14th. Gents, cheers for tagging along tonight. Anything you want to see in particular?
Yes. I've got a couple of things to get off my chest, Duggan. I don't know.
Go through the stats while he's talking.
Tato knows what's coming. He's been here before. Right. So, if we look at the CMO102 Super League Twitter page, it has 1,747 followers. Okay? If you divide that by the number of people in the group and how many streams it would take to get Campbell into the top 10 of the UK top 40. So, if everyone who follows the Super League chat streamed one of Campbell's ditties 80 times, that fucker would be in the top 10.
I mean, is that it? I thought there was going to be something a little bit more volatile coming than that, to be fair.
I want
Sloth, man, didn't you put out that you'd answer any question? I haven't heard one.
Yeah, I've got there's loads of questions. I don't want to read them to myself though.
Well, we're still live.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah.
Just
show me player stats, tackles by game again. I missed it, sorry. It's one of the ones I care about. All right, cheers, mate. Johnny Cheddar. It's massive.
Yeah, he's been great for us, hasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was games out winning. I was really laughing at you then.
Yeah. Shove it up your arse. Top of the form table, but we're absolutely poor as piss. Although Dragons are 4 without a win now. 6 unbeaten, 4 without a win.
Tato, so what I've done is I've sent you the questions, mate. So have a look.
I'm watching the boxing. Don't.
Was it on? How's he getting on?
No,
he's awful, isn't he?
Joshua's nose is completely bloodied, but they're both
He's fucked,
slogging. He'll knock him out, I think, later on, Josh. But...
Right then, boys. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm gonna. Rob, are you gonna answer any questions, mate?
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll go through them. First question I received was, "What's your favourite crisp?" I think we should open this as a forum so we can all do this between us. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
So I say so.
We'll have it as a joint therapy session, mate. Fire away.
Yeah. I think I need it, to be fair. So, what's your favourite crisp? Tato, don't answer. Rox, what's your favourite crisp, man?
I don't really like crisps. They're bullshit.
Oh, fuck off, you dickhead. Duggan, what's your favourite crisp, man?
Steak and
I
toys
don't
every day
really
of the
have
week.
one.
Where's your soul? What's the matter with you, Tato?
Crisps, no. Vests and Mohicans, yes.
Nice one, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well, I'm going method as a man who doesn't eat crisps.
I mean, I'm always on the fence. I mean, I very much go between skips and ribbon saucy knickknacks. So, yeah.
Both smell really fucking dodgy as well, Rob. So that tells me all you need to know about you dirty man.
All right. So this is the question from Walton Casuals. Who's the greatest British boxer of all time? Tato.
I'd Fury. I only started watching it probably about 15 years ago, 10 years ago. So I'll go Fury.
Rox.
I've always had a soft spot for Froch.
Yeah.
Although I do think in terms of pure boxing, Josh Taylor is right up there for ability.
Oh, great boxer. Duggan.
Shithouse.
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Lennox. Although on the fence, might be Canadian. Not too sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Tato, if you were a WWE wrestler, bear in mind WrestleMania's on tonight as well, and I've got work at 6 a.m, so I might watch it. Anyway, if you were a wrestler, what would be your finisher?
A choke slam.
Where's
the big show?
Rox.
It's the
Rox,
big
you look like an
spot.
indie wrestler as well, to be fair.
It would be like a reverse flip off the top rope ending in a teabag.
Beautiful. Duggan.
I reckon sweet chin music. Just a fucking.
I love a sweet. I mean,
sweet chin music. Get on.
I mean, Tato, we discussed this before. Mine would